Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be wiping down the engine bay and fitting the new engine. Wanted to explain a little hiccup we've had so far. This is one of the engine mounts that I got from back home, bought from someone. They've been powder coated, which is quite nice. This is for the cam belt side engine mount there, and this is the bush thing for it. I'm still learning, and that is supposed to sit in there really snug, and of course this is the issue we've got. Not supposed to be, so basically this is the wrong size, and the person who I bought the engine mounts and gearbox mounts from gave us two of these, two of the driver's side ones, the gearbox side I suppose. Luckily Matt had a spare engine mount which we have put in there now, so this is now redundant, so I've mentioned this before on the channel, but for anybody new here, I just wanted to show you a little quick story about why this truck means so much to me. This in particular one, this truck, this mountain green truck. And it goes right back to 12 years ago now. I think it's maybe more than 12 years ago. Basically, I saw an old UK Caddy in the UK and I didn't know what it was. So I started researching at home, typing in on Google, you know, old Volkswagen Caddy, old Volkswagen pickup. And the first picture that came up was this one. This exact image came up on Google Images and I was hooked. I found more pictures of that in particular mountain green truck there, and I just instantly fell in love. I fell in love with the color, I fell in love with everything about it, and saved so many photos of it. I know that sounds stupid, but we've all done it. We've found inspiration and saved it and used it as desktop background and stuff like that. But this is the exact truck. Now this truck at the time belonged to a guy called Ben Kwiatek, who we've had on the podcast, so if you want to check that out you can, of course. And then he sold it to a friend of mine called Justin Torres. So Justin in Wisconsin now has this exact truck, and this is the color, the year, the exact make and model that I fell in love with, which made me want this very truck in the first place. So, and a massive shout out to Ali for sending me this PVW magazine, which you can't actually get it anymore. A really cool thing. Obviously I've become friends with Ben and Justin since when I was talking to Ben and he found out that I got this, and we got talking, and he sent me something. Oh man, you're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. This right here is an owner's manual from this exact truck. Ben, bless his heart, sent me this from Wisconsin, USA, because obviously I didn't get any paperwork when I got this truck. So grateful that he sent me the owner's manual for the very truck that I set eyes on and fell in love with. Very cool. Just a very cool piece to have. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's my little backstory on why the mountain green color means so much to me, I suppose, because it resembles the very first mountain green truck that I saw that got me into all this. Explain what a popcorn limiter is.
It's just like a pop and bang map, but
that ain't happening. I'm telling you now, I am not having a pop and bang map.
No, it won't be, because diesel, you won't have a pop and bang.
I want any pops or bangs. I was listening out for pops and bangs with the old engine. So that's why I never had a stereo, because I'm too busy listening to the engine, make sure I don't blow up.
Yeah, but you won't hit limiter, because you...
What does a popcorn limiter do though? What is it? Does it help in any way?
No.
Or is it just for like, oh, I'm cool, I've got a...
You're one of the cool kids now, you got an engine
I'm not a cool kid, look at me.
You've got an engine conversion.
Look at me.
We'll most probably have a little peppy map on it.
What's a peppy map? Faster?
Yeah, not massively fast, but like better response.
So it's already 130 as it is.
Mm-hmm. Intercooler we've got an issue with.
Yeah, where is it? Where's
it's down
the one?
There.
So this is one we got, this is what we got from home. This is from a Peugeot 308.
Yeah, it won't work with the radiator.
It's too big, it won't fit in there. No?
No, it's too tall to fit in the way it should do originally.
Yeah, what is like that?
Yeah, it should be the other,
other way around,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, just to
even if you turned it upside down, with the pipes
height.
to the bottom, it still wouldn't work. You can't lay it on its side because it's too thick for the radiator.
Which you've taken the fan off, because the original fan was just too big.
Yeah, it's fine, we got that.
This is from a 1980 GTI.
It's thicker rad as well.
Does it really make a difference what radiator we use?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna purchase an intercooler.
Yeah, we'll need to do a little bit of research, go and have a look in the container, see what we've got.
Well, we're definitely gonna get a slimline fan.
Yeah, we've got that coming, that's coming. I think the way I'd like to do it, if we can get the parts in time, is get SAT or A4 inlet manifold, so it brings it out this side, and then we use a TD5 intercooler. They're a little bit, they're a lot shorter and a Sprinter intercooler, and the pipe sizes are all the same size as the inlet, so it should work out quite nicely. So we come up here, in, and then we can come from the turbo up and in. And the other thing we've got to do, got to clock the cold side of the turbo, so we need to bring, it might come down, no, I think you have to come up because the intercooler will sit up further, so it'd have to come up and then in, because this way it's sort of pointing back, and when the pipe comes out it hits straight into the leg. But we've got the engine mounted in properly.
Yeah.
Got starter motor on, because that is the front stabiliser. Drive shafts are in and all bolted up properly. Downpipe's going to be straightforward, got to just cut it, it'll be straight. We'll have a 90 out, down, 90 back, and then we'll work out from there. We'll most probably just have a side exit. Yeah. Exhaust. In the future, if we don't get a chance this time, I'd like to change it.
So basically, instead of this
being this way,
coming out here, it will come out that way.
Yeah.
So there we go, people. That's episode 2. Now you're all caught up with where we're at in terms of the engine swap. Join us again in the next episode, where we will be taking out the auto shifter thing.
Oh, we're going to take dash out.
We're taking the dash out. The auto,
and that's Dan's job.
Yeah, trust me, I'm working, baby. Yeah, so dash out, column out, or
we're
not
gonna have a look at
necessary?
the column and see what's going on, because we've got to convert it from auto to manual to left-hand drive. We may have to nick bits off the other steering column to weld to the left-hand drive.
I'm excited. Still, I know I keep saying it, but I'm still excited. We're getting closer and closer. Well, there you go, people. Join us in the next episode where all that fun stuff will take place right here.
Bye.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel for future videos just like this, and we'll see you in the next video.